Joining us here on Fox 19 is the driver of the number 19. Chase Briscoe is on the pole for the Daytona 500 this Sunday right here on Fox 19. Now, Chase, there's so many things to dive into with you being at a new team, taking Toyota to the front of the line. But what's most exciting to you about being called the pole sitter for the Daytona 500?
Yeah, it's just honestly crazy. Yeah, I don't know if it's fully sank in yet. Just it's a race that every race car driver in the world dreams of getting to race at, and every year there's only 40 guys that get to race it, and but there's only one that gets to lead the field of green in the Great American Race. So it's truthfully unbelievable. Growing up in Southern Indiana, I never dreamed I would race a single NASCAR race, let alone lead the field of green in the biggest race of the year. So it's super cool, and just honestly a very humbling thing to be able to do. So yeah, I can't believe that little old me is getting to do it, but it's definitely neat.
I'm sure you have received a lot of messages from a lot of people in your life who have been some of the coolest people to reach out to you, send you a text message after you've made this happen.
Yeah, honestly, I think the coolest one was Johnny Morris, owner of Bass Pro Shops. This is a new thing for me, being a part of the Bass Pro family, and getting to know Johnny over the last really 3 or 4 months, and to see how excited he was probably the coolest thing. And even in our post race interview, I said something along the lines of, we got the greatest American brand in Bass Pro Shops leading the field of green in the Great American Race, and he thought that was like the coolest thing ever. So that was probably the coolest text I got last night.
I got to say, you nailed that line. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it felt good when I said it.
Okay, let's talk about this race here. It's one thing to start from the front, it's another thing to finish at the front. You've got a fast car. We've seen that. How do you think that'll translate to racing when it comes time to race the 500 on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, definitely your starting position doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, it's nice to have a car that's really fast, but the draft and when we all get out there in a pack, it's kind of the great equalizer. So yeah, it's tough. There's pros and cons to it. Truthfully, the advantages are you're starting up front and you're kind of ahead of a lot of that stuff. But at the same time, these races have turned into a lot of fuel saving, and when you're in the lead, you burn more fuel than everybody else. So that's going to be the challenge, is just trying to save as much fuel as you can while you're still leading the race and maintaining control of the race. But yeah, we're trying to do our best at it. I'll get a little bit of practice tonight in the duel of trying to manage that, and hopefully can do a good job and learn enough for Sunday.
I peeked on your Twitter a little bit before this interview, and I got to say, the interviews with the kids, News 19, was a nice
Oh
touch.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
also saw a post you put out there that 11 years ago, you picked up, you left Indiana, and here you are now, 11 years later, on the pole of the Daytona 500. You're representing the Midwest. I'm calling you from Cincinnati. What's it like to represent this area and have a dream from Indiana and now take it to the biggest stage in NASCAR?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, literally, like what we were talking about earlier, it doesn't feel like I should even be doing what I'm doing, right? Like I never thought I would get a race at Daytona 500, let alone, lead the field of green. My hometown, Mitchell, Indiana, is 3,500 people. We only had one stoplight. Like it's just crazy to think that you can come from, a small town in Indiana to now, leading the field of green. And it's even driving for Joe Gibbs, right? Like who in a million years would think I would get a drive for Joe Gibbs Racing and represent Bass Pro Shops, like all the things that I would have never dreamed would have happened when I moved away 11 years ago. So it's definitely special. It's extremely humbling, and I've certainly been beyond blessed. So yeah, just honor and a privilege for sure.
All right, last question because I know our time is limited here. I asked a lot of my NASCAR friends here in Cincinnati if they could ask Chase Briscoe one question. I'll give you the winner. Okay. The winning question is: has Chase convinced his wife to get a minivan now they have all these kids?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I'd be lying if I said it was easy. I've been trying because I just think it'd be way easier. So we have a almost 3.5-year-old and we have 4-month-old twins. I've been telling her we just need to get a minivan. Like my parents had a minivan. It's way more convenient. It's way easier to get the kids in and out. And so this week in Daytona, I made sure our rental car was a minivan just so I could like try to slowly dip her toe in the water to minivan life. And I think down deep she knows that it's way more convenient, easier, but she just won't admit it. It just doesn't fit her style apparently. So I'm hoping I can keep convincing her the minivan lifestyle. Toyota obviously makes a great minivan too. So it's an easy thing to convince her, I think, or to get one if I can convince her. But yeah, haven't had any luck convincing her quite yet.
Well, as a father of three, minivans are cool. And I have to tell you, if you do get a minivan, you can go back to cool cars after they're
Well,
grown.
that's what I told her. Like, let's
Yes.
just let's live the minivan life for like 4 or 5 years, and then once they get a little bit older, then we can go back to like the cool mom car. But let's go with minivan life right now. I'm all about convenience.
Chase Briscoe, congratulations on the pole, man. Good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.